Now we're going to speak about St. Patrick and his origin story. See, St. Patrick is the patron saint of Ireland. His story is so famous that today he is one of the most famous saints in all of Christian history. St. Patrick was born in the late 4th century, around the year 385 AD, in what was then Britain, but however it was occupied by the Roman regime. His birth name was Mawian Sukat. Although his name is rarely mentioned in the stories that follow, he came from a wealthy family, with his father, Calpurnius, being a deacon in the Christian church, and his grandfather, Patetis, a priest. Despite being born into a Christian family, Patrick's early life was not known for his religious devotion. At the age of 16, Patrick's life took a dramatic turn. According to his writings that he had stored over time, he was captured by Irish raiders during a violent attack on his home and taken to Ireland as a slave. This event was marked by a pivotal moment in his life, as he was forcibly separated from his family and transported to a foreign land. Remember, St. Patrick was born in a rich, cushy lifestyle. He wasn't used to being a slave, he wasn't used to being held captive, and he certainly wasn't used to the living conditions that he was put in. In Ireland, Patrick was made to work as a shepherd, living in isolation and experiencing harsh conditions. This wasn't something that St. Patrick was used to. During his years in captivity, Patrick's faith began to deepen. He turned to prayer for solace, and it was during that time he reportedly had a series of dreams in which God spoke to him, urging him to escape and return home. After 6 years in captivity, Patrick managed to escape, finding a way to board a ship that would take him back to Britain. Once back in Britain, Patrick united with his family, but he was far from content with his return to his previous life. He had a powerful vision in which the people of Ireland calling him back, begging him to return to bring Christian faith to the land of Ireland. This dream was a pivotal shift in St. Patrick's life. He felt a divine calling to return to the land that once enslaved him and to bring Christianity back to the people. Patrick decided to become a Christian missionary and entered a monastery to prepare for his new journey. After years of study, he was ordained as a bishop. Armed with his newfound knowledge and religious authority, Patrick set out for Ireland once again, but this time with a mission to spread the teachings of Christianity to the pagan peoples of the island. St. Patrick's mission to convert the Irish to Christianity was not without challenges. Ireland at this point in time was a land of many diverse tribes, different raiders, and even some people from Viking descent, each with its own distinct customs, laws, and gods. Paganism and Druidic practices were deeply ingrained in Irish culture, and Patrick faced significant resistance from the native population, particularly from Druids, who were spiritual leaders at the time. One of the most famous accounts of St. Patrick's mission is his use of the shamrock to explain the Holy Trinity: the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. According to legend, he used the three-leaf plant to demonstrate how three distinct entities could exist in unity in one whole plant. This simple yet profound symbol of the Trinity became synonymous with St. Patrick and is still a national symbol of Ireland today. Patrick's efforts were ultimately successful, and over the course of his life, he's said to have baptized thousands upon thousands of people, converting many kings and chieftains, and established monasteries, schools, and churches and across Ireland. Even those Druids that fought him and resisted him against Christianity, some of them became Christians as well. Overall, his work played a crucial role in the Christianization of all of Ireland, and even till today, we see the dominance of the Christian religion through Catholicism in Ireland. Perhaps the most enduring and widely recognized story of St. Patrick is that of the snakes, and how he drove them out the island of Ireland. According to the tale, St. Patrick stood on a hill and used the power of God to command the snakes to leave, sending them into the sea where they drowned. While there are no snakes native today in Ireland, this is obscurely interesting. This legend became a symbolic tale of Patrick's triumph over the pagan forces in Ireland, with snakes representing the old ways of paganism and the patriotic sought to banish. Think of it this way. There were snakes at one point in the island, that is irrefutable. However, today there are none in existence that are native to the land, and none have adapted to the land. The story has been told over generations and generations. It's particularly feasible for any Christian to believe that St. Patrick truly did drive out these snakes through the power of God and prayer. The absence of these snakes at this point in time is very, very interesting to most Irish people who live there today. See, snakes are cold-blooded animals. They have the ability to live in various different geographies. St. Patrick's death is believed to have occurred around March 17th, around the year 461 AD. Over the centuries, his legacy grew, and he was canonized as a saint by the Catholic Church. Although the exact process of his canonization is unclear, his feast day, St. Patrick's Day, is celebrated on March 17th, and it has evolved from a religious feast day into a global celebration of Irish culture and heritage. While much of St. Patrick's life is rooted in epic stories, his story still remains and still is a symbol of faith till today. St. Patrick's origin story is a story about transformation. A young boy who was captured by raiders, taken to a foreign land, developing his relationship with God, coming back home, realizing that he probably wasn't welcome, and deciding to go back to the land that caused a lot of pain for him, and decided to become a hero for the people of that land.